It's okay, we got this. So what am I doing? So I actually don't know, like... Is it possible that maybe... Like... I don't know. I don't know. I was gonna say maybe she found a knife on the floor, but the floor doesn't look like it's like splattered with any blood, so... That's probably not the case. Was she gonna pour alcohol on it? But is that like not wine or something? It's dark. Like, was she gonna pour alcohol into the wound to like sterilize it or something? I don't know. Is that what you do? I'm not a medic. I don't know how things work. I still also don't know what the meiosis means. Was she like poisoned or something? What does it mean when you're... Extreme meiosis, pupil constriction, was observed in victims' both eyes. Like, what pupil constriction, as in they were like... The pupils were like small? What would cause it to be small? Oh! Like, was she looking up at the sun? Right? But I don't know what extreme meiosis would mean. I just... If what I'm reading is correct, and the pupil constriction and say that the pupil is small, that happens when you look at a bright light, right? Was she like outside of the hut when it happened? I don't know. I don't know. I also don't know what they're trying for me to have me figure out here. You say doing it without thinking could be a problem. Does that mean that if you use due care and attention, it would be alright? You wouldn't have thought this needed spelling out, really. But the blade is like a stopper in the wound. Remove it, and a serious hemorrhage will occur. In other words, a medic would need to be present before any attempt was made to withdraw the blade. She's a medic? Well, she's a medic in training. Doing it without thinking would be madness. You just can't do it. What if she pulled it out and attempt to like bandage it? Maybe? Oh, well, thank you for such a thorough explanation. Oh god. Choked up my spit. You see, Counsel? When you act without thinking, the result is a bloodbath. Back to the witness's testimony, please. How do I do this though? Basic knowledge for any medical research situation. In that case, there's an obvious explanation here. Which is? Bitch said, oh shit! Clearly, the defendant raped Memambi-san does not possess an ounce of sense. What do you think about that, Professor Mikotoba? I'm not sure that you should be labeling your best friend as lacking in common sense. Well, I thought it'd be better than labeling her as a murderer. I don't know, young people today? If that's friendship, I don't understand it. Careful, Counsel. A lack of common sense could be a very dangerous thing. Are you about to hit me with that? Are you threatening me with a hammer? Oh dear, that recoiled on me rather badly. Well, you said something really stupid. That's life, I'm afraid. A lesson everyone must learn. Hopefully you can see now that this is really basic medical knowledge. Being involved in medical research, Memambi-san would have certainly been aware of it. Like, why don't we ask her? You guys never want to ask the fucking defendants about their actions. But the defendant suddenly encountered somebody she knew lying on the ground, bleeding to death. The sight could have shocked her delicate sensibilities, causing her to remove the blade inadvertently. I really don't think inadvertent actions can explain this. That woman is a medical research assistant. I can't imagine she would behave so irrationally. Oh, but irrational behavior is a woman's prerogative, isn't it? What are you talking about? Oh dear, you have a lot to learn about women. Only a small-minded man could have such bigoted views. Oh, he called you a bigoted man. Oh dear, perhaps I'm letting my male persona take hold a little too much. Fucking fool. Well, have I managed to convey the basics now? That should cover the medical sides of the argument. He looks so nice when he smiles, but also, shut up. That has nothing to do with anything. I just wonder what I'm supposed to like. Is there anything to present about this? I wonder what's the point of this magnifying glass. It's like, it's magnifying onto a picture that's making it like blurry because it's like pixelish, but like, I don't know why she would have pulled the fucking knife. Was she trying to like treat it? I wouldn't know how to present it. Oh. Whatever the motive, it just isn't in Memami-san's nature to do something so awful. But she had both motive and opportunity. It's very hard to argue against. But you don't know the defendant! You don't know her! And you, counsel, do not appear to know the law! Yes, evidence is the only way to convince the court of your argument, not feelings. With this fledging to defend her, I would almost say I pity the accused. So do I. Inspector, you will reiterate your point about the defendant's motive, please. Yes, Miss Brett was in many ways the sworn enemy of Memami-san's. The main victim murdered 9 months ago. Dr. Wilson was the defendant's highly respected mentor. Well, yes, that's true. Dr. Wilson recognized Memami-san's talent and offered her the position of assistant despite her being a woman. She was extremely grateful to him. Yes, the Englishman appeared to have been a very broad-minded individual. Dr. Wilson had no time for outdated traditions. He met with opposition, of course, but he believed firmly in Memami-san's abilities. Clearly, the defendant was in man's debt, which only served to prove my point. This is hopeless. I can't find a single crack in his testimony anywhere. If Ray knew that withdrawing the knife from the wound would threaten Miss Brett's life further, I just can't think of any way to explain why she did it. Ask her! Just ask her! She's standing somewhere in this room! I don't get it! Susato, it's at times like this when it's especially important to remember the fundamentals. Ask questions! The fundamentals? Evidence is what counts in the courtroom, isn't it? Of course, but I've been through the court record dozens of times already. I think perhaps you forgot something else, though. You needn't take the evidence at face value. You can and must examine it in greater detail, too. Huh? I realize this is your first time playing the role of a lawyer in the courtroom. So if you need a reminding of the rudiments, you need only ask. I'll do my very best to help. Examine the evidence in the court record? It's an idea, certainly. What should I do? No, I know what to do. Come to think of it, Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san were always turning evidence over and over in their hands. They're just spinning it like, woo, woo, woo. I need to examine things in greater detail with A. Ah, by the look in your eyes, I see it's coming back to you. Go through the court record again and have a thorough look at everything. You may just find a clue. I'll do it straight away. Is there something out that I haven't looked at yet? Or is it that did I have to go through all that just for it to open? Because I wanted to examine the pen. Okay, it's fine. It's okay. It's Daijobu. So, pen is art. What is this little insignia on the bottom? Oh my god, look at her! From this profile, she does look a little bit more like boyish, like a feminine boy-ish. I get it now. There's some sort of emblem here. Look. But it isn't a Yume University one. It must belong to some other organization, I suppose. A business of some kind. That would seem to imply that the pen doesn't in fact belong to Ray. Yeah, I bet we fucking been new. Okay, what else we got? Open it up. Open it! If we take off the pen's lid. I did it. Now what? Nothing appears obviously out of the ordinary here, does it? Oh. What about here? Now let's unscrew the barrel, shall we? Why? It's empty. This must be the little reservoir that holds the ink. Yes, you fill it by drawing ink from the bottle up through the nib. Is something wrong, Father? Just that there doesn't actually appear to be any ink in there, that's all. Oh yes, you're right. It's pretty much empty. Well, it could be on the verge of running out, I suppose. Where's the fucking ink then? What does that tell us? What do that be tell us? What be that do tell us? Okay, is everything examined here? Have I looked at everything? Oh. The RM initials are very clearly engraved here. And the fact that Miss Brett was clinging onto this pen in her dying moments is very clearly a message too. To identify her killer, you mean? I don't think there could be any doubt that this is the key piece of evidence in this case. Wait a minute. Did this originally have blue ink? That photographer had ink smeared on his hand. It's him. It was him. Where is he? Bring him out! Oh, I can examine this now. Before it was a zoom above the picture. Raucous England, returnees tell all. This is the interview with you and Soseki-san, is it, father? Ha ha ha. It looks as though it was quite an exchange. Yes, he became a little over-animated when he was talking about his time in England. The photographer managed to capture the moment his hand karate chopped me on the neck. Oh, is that what happened there? I do hope you weren't hurt. Open it! Open it! There's definitely blue ink on here sprawled somewhere. This is the newspaper from Soseki-san. There seems to be an important article on the back page as well. Exclusive. Deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. From Yume's medical research. Father, isn't that your lab? What the? Let me see that. The poison's been stolen? It's this morning's paper that Soseki-san gave us. Are you saying you didn't know? As embarrassing as it is for the head of the laboratory, I didn't. I've not heard of any such thing. Where on earth could the reporter have gleaned his information? Come to think of it, there was no article mentioning this story in our paper this morning, was there? It's highly toxic poison we've been working on in the strictest confidence. I'd put Ray in charge of the project. Ray? She was managing it. If what's written here is true, it means that she tried to hide the theft from me. And moreover, the details were leaked somehow. I don't believe it. We need to read this article very carefully. Suspicious. Okay, so it's nothing to open. I thought there'd be blue ink on it or something. So the main thing to bring out is that they're poison. A really toxic poison that Ray somehow was in charge of and then did mention to her boss about. Went missing, the reporter knew about it. Oh, okay, so she was poisoned then. The pupil constriction thing, that was her being poisoned. Is that what it is? I'm guessing that this fucking court record, the fucking autopsy report doesn't consider that. She got poisoned. Was she stabbed with the... No, because the pen would have had blood on it. I was gonna say, I thought she was stabbed with the pen. And then the pen inside had the poison. The little reservoir would have had poison in it. But then there's no blood on the pen. Or she was stabbed in the back. And then there was the hole, or the wound, and then the pen was placed back there to kind of... I don't know. So then, Oh, this is the article. Exclusive deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. Following a lecture at Yume by Soseki Natsume on the 11th of August, it's come to the light that a very disturbing incident took place. A deadly poison being secretly developed at the university's forensic science laboratory was stolen. Deadly in tiny quantities. Even the smallest amount entering the body enter either via the mouth or via a wound from a poison blade laced would prove fatal in minutes. Current methods cannot detect a newly developed chemical. University would have to be consulted. Why is poison being developed? Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, starting with impaired breathing and ending with acute contractions of the pupils prior to death. Such symptoms would be suggestive of this toxin. It's apparently an entirely new synthetic of alkaloids and rumored to have been commissioned by the military. You're making poison for the military! But there's the answer. At least, can I present it as that? The reason why she pulled out the blade was because she was going to... Because the blade was poison? Okay, music stopped. No, there's one possibility. One very good reason why the defendant might have decided to withdraw the knife from the victim's wound. What? Ha! The yokel not only has a poor grasp of the law, but also is a poor loser. Tell us then, what possibility do you think you've identified? It's here, in this newspaper article. An article about a deadly poison having been stolen from a laboratory. Sorry, I for some reason keep, depending on what I'm saying before it, I think I keep switching the way I pronounce laboratory, and it's throwing me off because now I'm trying to consciously stop doing that, but then me overthinking it is making me stumble. Laboratory, the Imperial Human Uniform. The victim perished from a stab wound. Poison has no relevance in this case. But... Prosecutor Ouch, you will let the defense speak. But a newspaper article, the court can never lay on a kind of hearsay this wretched publication, Gary. How dare you? Counsel for the defense. I am going to need some tangible basis of your claim. You will indicate to the court precisely what part of the newspaper article affirms your assertions. God damn! Your Excellency! Yes, of course. Thank you. Ray would never have done something to further endanger Miss Pratt's life without just cause. The reason why the defendant pulled a knife from the victim's body is explained in the article where it says... It was that, right? The middle page? That's the one where it talks about... Yeah. Oh. I think it should be. Maybe. The article reveals the following property about the poison in question. When the toxins enters the body and the knife laced with poison, it's rapidly absorbed and causes death in minutes. Are you suggesting? If the knife used to attack Miss Brett was laced with this very poison, it would explain why the defendant, Memba-mi-san, would have withdrawn the blade as soon as possible. Yes, the truth is, it was an attempt to stop the poison from entering the victim's body. What? And then they're gonna say that she was the one who poisoned the blade because she was the one in charge of the poison, and then we're gonna be like, no, because then how did the fucking newspaper article even know about it, and blah blah blah. This is complete and utter nonsense! Not at all! The defendant withdrew the knife blade from the victim's body not to accelerate the woman's demise. Oh, whoops, I read that in a weird tone. But to save her life! And the prosecution cannot deny the possibility! Have you not read the post-mortem report? The cause of death was a hemorrhage! The word poison appears nowhere in the document! Well, that's because by acting quickly to remove the blade, the defendant prevented the poison from taking hold. No, you fucking idiots. Oh, please! This is clearly desperation! The weasel's last breaking of wind! Poison has nothing whatsoever to do with this case, as I believe the defense is well aware. Also, the light, you will notice that it has changed and I'm now darker. It's because before the sun was out and now it looks like it's probably about to rain. Sick, epic. This is what I get for relying on natural light. We have no proof that the information in this wretched newspaper article is at all reliable anyway. In that situation, what the student should have done is wait for medical assistance to arrive. But instead, you claim she suspected poisoning and took the potentially lethal decision to remove the blade. She must have had a strong reason for suspicions then, or that argument makes no sense. Exactly! Well put, Inspector! On what grounds did she do it, yokel? Why did Ray suspect that stolen poison was involved? If you want grounds, I'll give you grounds. What? You can't possibly! I just realized this is her, this is her victory music or whatever you fucking call it. Her on the roll music. It's so gentle. From your expression, counsel, it would appear that those are not empty words. But naturally, as you stand in this courtroom as a lawyer, you must be aware that words alone, empty or not, are of no value in our modern justice system. The court demands evidence. Yes, Your Excellency. I'm well aware of that. I've seen it many times, from my place at his side in the Old Bailey.
In that case, counsel, you will present the proof of the court now. What evidence demonstrates a clear link between this case and the poison in the newspaper article?
Could I? I would ask the court to refer to the notes section on the post-mortem report, which reads, extreme meiosis, pupil constriction was observed in the victim. Clearly, being a yokel with no knowledge of forensic science, I have no idea. So please, do tell me. Presumably, the fact that this condition of the victim was noted in the post-mortem report means that it's an unusual symptom of death. Well,
under normal circumstances, the pupils dilate when someone dies.
ah, okay.
If there was extreme constriction instead, that's most certainly unusual, yes.
What are you doing, you yokel detective?
I tried to turn on my lights a little bit. I put it like slightly dimmer because my lights have like adjustable as an adjusting thing to hopefully help with the darkness or whatever. But whatever, I don't know. Did I read this? I read this. In a newspaper article, there's the following information about the stolen poison. Onset of symptoms occur in minutes, ending with acute contraction of the pupils prior to death.
What?
If the defendant, upon seeing the victim stabbed in the back, happened to notice that the pupils of Miss Brett's eyes had constricted severely.
Yes, as a medical research assistant, she would have suspected poison immediately, without doubt.
Prosecutor Ouchie, I think you'll agree. This is very compelling evidence.
You yokel student and yokel professor!
You can't call him yokel. I still don't even know what yokel is.
I believe the defense has expertly demonstrated a credible reason for the defendant's actions.
No.
Eugene Mikotoba. Yes, Your Excellency. I believe you are best placed here to confirm or deny the veracity of the defense's counsel's argument. You will tell the court the truth about the details reported in the newspaper, please. It pains me to have to admit it. Alright, whatever. But I'm afraid I don't know. You don't know? The toxin was kept under lock and key in my laboratory, certainly, but I was unaware of any theft. Do you mean to tell the court that the reports of this theft are unfounded? No, Your Excellency. Without returning to the laboratory to investigate myself, I couldn't say.
Ha! Listen to the bumbling academic. Unaware of the death of secret state research from his own workplace until he reads it up in the newspaper.
I take full responsibility for the incompetence of my supervision.
Father!
The pitiful situation for a university professor.
Wasn't he supposed to be sick, by the way? Is he still sick?
You should have more control of your students, rather than allowing them off on a killing spree.
That's totally unfounded! What the fuck was your voice?
None of this is Professor Mikotoba's fault. It's all my fault.
Ray!
Remember, son, you stand accused here. Outbursts like this will not be tolerated.
But it was me. I was the one who noticed that the poison we were developing had been stolen that day.
What?
So you knew?
I'd been placed in charge of overseeing the project. It was the day that the professor and Saseki-san were interviewed together for the newspaper. That's when I noticed that some of the poison was missing. Just a tiny amount it was.
Why didn't you let me know immediately?
I was scared. The whole project was supposed to be confidential, but some of the toxin had somehow been taken. So I decided I'd try to get it back before anyone else found out.
What made you think that it would be get backable? Retrievable, whatever.
Because I had a very good idea who the thief was.
The what's her name? Brett?
The thief? You don't mean... Yes, of course. It was that dainty English woman.
Miss Giselle Brett.
That's why I decided to join the little group of people going to the seaside. Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. But she just sat on the stool at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me as if she knew she was untouchable. I know it was you who stole the poison! Well now, whatever do you mean? And then, she suddenly got to her feet before falling to her knees in front of me and then collapsing on the floor. That's when I saw the knife in her back. I couldn't understand what had just happened. And then, a moment later, I was seized with fear. The pupils of her eyes they'd shrunk to tiny pinpoints.
I don't believe it. In other words, you realized that the victim was suffering the effects of the stolen poison.
My mind started racing. I hadn't seen anything past Miss Brett's lips while I had been with her, which left only one possible way for the poison to have entered her body. On the blade of the knife in her back.
And that train of thought was what spurred you to withdraw the blade.
Yes, if the amount that had entered her bloodstream was small enough, she might still have a chance. That's what I had hoped. Really, I'm so sorry for staying silent all this time.
Damn, why gotta be raining? I don't want to fucking go out and now. Shit.
Your attempt to hide the truth of what happened is not something that can be overlooked. However, I have duly noted the courage with which you confessed in the end.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It's barely perceptible, but I do think the balance has shifted a little here in this courtroom now.
Shut up! Your Excellency, do not be deceived! The victim just collapsed before your eyes, you say? Well, Membami-san, if that's the case, perhaps you can explain how Miss Brett came to be stabbed? I mean, that hut is just made out of straw, right? Can't someone just stick a knife through there? You have no answer because the simple truth is that you stabbed the victim motivated by revenge!
But you have no conclusive evidence to prove that assertion, do you?
Oh, I have evidence. It is very much conclusive.
What's the prosecution counsel up to? It was brief, but he hesitated for a moment there. I'm almost sure of it.
Probably because it's not conclusive.
You will produce the aforementioned evidence at once, Prosecutor Aochi.
Perhaps some praise is due, young yokel student.
What?
I'd imagine there'd be no need for me to submit this evidence. It's got the cracky. It's got the crack on the camera. But you brought this on yourself. You can see her face. I mean, her eyes are closed, so it doesn't matter. But you can see her face. See, look, there's a fucking hole through the straw. He stabbed her from the back. Come on, come on. I already figured it out.
What the?
There could a more daring shot exist. The cruelty in the air on the beach is almost palpable. Yeah, if it were me, if I was trying to remove a knife from someone's back, I would probably not use two hands. I would probably use one, but I don't know. I've never fucking seen someone get stabbed before. This evidence, more than any other, reveals the true extent of the accused's murderous nature. I think someone's dying out there. For it shows the precise moment that Membami-san plunged her dagger into the victim's back.
No, that's not true. No.
The light also just went brighter for some reason. Did it fucking know that it's getting darker? What the fuck? So whatever.
I don't believe it. No!
It is raining quite hard. Okay, we're back again. I had to like straight up just stop recording, take a breather, just sit. I thought I thought I was about to continue recording like another day or something, because I thought the rain was sticking around for a bit, but thunderstorm has passed, and now I think it's just raining, so I think we should be okay if the weather app is correct with its tellings or findings or whatever the fuck. That was scary. What did I last leave off at? What were we doing? Hold up. Ah! Oh, yes. Ouchie showed us a new evidence picture. How did I forget it so quickly? It hasn't even been that long. It's only been like 10 minutes. Was it 10 minutes? Maybe a little bit longer, but it's been like, it hasn't been that long. Anyway, what was your voice?
Order, order, order. Counsel for defense. Was it you who was responsible for that shrill scream that just pierced my courtroom?
Perhaps his voice has yet to break? These yokels are slow of mind, slow to mature.
I'll show you who's slow to mature.
That's a weird thing to say.
Careful now. Susato is starting to show her face here. It is often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and here we have ample proof. The court will accept this extremely cogent, whatever photographic print as evidence.
Criminal photograph. Okay.
I can't believe he has a photograph like that up his sleeve the entire time. It's such a stark image. I'm genuinely lost for words. Wait a minute! I don't understand! How did you... I mean, who took that photograph? Ray.
That's of no importance here! Stop trying to divert attention!
That's an absurd thing to say. It's crucially important. Whoever took this photographic print was a witness to Miss Brett's death. The court must be allowed to hear this person's testimony.
Ah!
Bring him out, bring him out.
I will uphold the defense's demand. The prosecution will reveal the identity of the person responsible for taking this photograph at once.
Well, I'm afraid I can't do that.
Pardon?
You see, this print arrived at the Imperial Police Bureau headquarters by express post yesterday. But there was nothing to indicate the sender's name or address. The provenance of the print is unknown.
You presenting fucking evidence of things that you got from people you don't even know.
Fuck.
Goodness.
I guess in this day and age you can't fabricate a photo like that.
Are we to understand then, counsel, that in full knowledge of the fact that this photograph has the murkiest of origins, you nevertheless believed it fit for submission as evidence in the Supreme Court?
When you first produced that print before, I noticed that you hesitated for a brief moment. Because you knew that it wasn't completely reliable evidence, didn't you?
Silence! You yokel student and blabbering professor!
What?
What matters is the blatant truth that this print so eloquently expresses.
But the defendant has already admitted to pulling the blade from the wound. Clearly, this isn't the moment that the knife was plunged into the victim's back, but
The moment it was withdrawn? Don't waste the court's time with your ramblings.
Indeed. Without knowledge of who produced this print, we have no means of verifying the claim. And the scene it captures is without a doubt the most compelling evidence presented to the court. If the defense is unable to shed any further light on the matter, I believe the conclusion is clear.
That's stinky! Because then the witness, whoever took this picture, would be able to tell you, presumably, if they're fucking telling the truth or not, that they fucking saw her stabbing it. You need.
oh no,
Susato, this is the time for you to fight. If what you have established so far is true, then there can be no doubt. This photograph shows the moment that Ray withdrew the blade from the victim.
yes, we just need to prove that somehow.
You'll have plenty of time to rue the defeat on your slow train back to the provinces. And to rue the day you came up against Takatsuchi Aochi in a court of law.
If I can't determine who took this photograph, then the trial is going to come to an end. There must be a clue somewhere. There must be some way of working out who took it.
We know. We just need to bring out the person who took the photo during the newspaper article thing, because they're the same person.
Well, counsel.
We know. We got this. Ryutaro, we got this. Your Excellency, the burning question is who took that photograph? And the truth is, I know. I do wish they made her cheeks jiggle just a little bit. I think, I assume the reason why they did it is because they probably felt that as a girl, she shouldn't be having cheeks jiggle when they do that. It's more funny when a guy does it, but like also, you should have made it jiggle. Do I have to examine this? Oh, it doesn't matter. Never mind. This isn't about whether I can or can't come up with the answer now. I simply have to. The identity of the person who took this dramatic photographic print is, I assure you, something the defense can and will reveal.
What? No! You can't possibly! But as you so boldly claim that you can, please, do enlighten us!
Unfortunately, I am unable to present a name.
How utterly underwhelming! Did you really believe you could?
However, I am able to present evidence. The defense has a piece of evidence that reveals the important details about the photographer's identity.
What?
Very well then, counsel. Present your proof to the court. Which piece of evidence do you claim reveals something about the identity of the mystery photographer?
Could I?
What is that? The newspaper again? Raucous England returnees tell all.
It's not the headline that's relevant here, Your Excellency. It's the photograph. Tell this man to get a fucking new lens. Can't believe this. I can't believe Soseki just fucking karate chopped his neck. It's a really good picture, though. I like this picture a lot. If you look at it closely, you'll notice that there are some white lines on the right-hand side.
Oh, yes indeed. They had a ring caught my eye as it happened.
Ow, 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 my ear. God damn. Why do I got a shrill like that, man?
What of it? A shadow of some kind, presumably, from the branches of a tree or the like.
You ever cast a white shadow?
There are no trees growing inside my laboratory at the university, I can assure you.
Now, if you look closely at this photograph.
Good gracious.
Yo, she got a butt. You saw that? Oh wait, that might be the dress. No, she's supposed to be in a bathing suit, right? She's not in a dress. Yes, exactly the same pattern of lines is presented in this photograph too.
Well, that tells us nothing. Yes, it's a shadow of some kind, definitely, from the branches of a tree.
There wouldn't be any trees growing inside a hut on the beach, Counsel. You don't know that. But also, yeah, there wasn't. I mean, I think the other picture shows that there was no tree. Actually. Can you see anything in the back there? You can't. There's a slit open over there. And she was sitting there. Oh, come on. It's right there. It's clear on that she was stabbed from outside. God damn.
What's quite remarkable about it is that the two patterns are absolutely identical. How could such an extraordinary similarity have transpired?
The curious matching pattern that appears on both photographic prints is a result of a camera defect. Obviously, it must be due to a problem with the camera used to take the photographs.
With the photographic device?
Oh god.
Yes, we can confidently say that the camera's lens must be scratched. And that scratched lens caused unwanted lines to appear on every print taken with the device.
In short, the two photographs under consideration here were taken with the same camera.
I can't start my car, but there must be hundreds of such camera devices here in the capital. It would be utterly impossible to identify the owner of this particular one.
I think you're forgetting, Prosecutor Aochi, that one of the photographs featured in a newspaper. Article. What?
A newspaper?
That's right. The author of that article is the mystery witness to this crime. You know when you write an article but also take the pictures for the article? Because you're a writer and also a photographer. Memorio, what? What was that word? What happened?
I see why you were called a raucous England returnee.
What did he say? Menemo... Menimemo... 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 Menimemo? Menimemo... 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 What is that word? I don't even know what he said.
What are you yelling about? You already testified!
It's Menimemo. I tell you, Menimemo.
I'm assuming that's the name of the person, the photographer. But what does many memo mean? Like, as in many memos? Many memo, like, what? Okay, whatever, I don't know. When he says, many memo! Got a little bit of smudge on his nose.
Soseki-san, what was that? Did you say many memo?
Ever since I returned to Japan, a reporter from the Shoyu News has been hounding me, following my every move. A reporter by the name of Raiten Many Memo.
Writing many memo. Raiten many memo. I feel like there should be an S at the end, but whatever.
Yes, hounding me from dawn to dusk.
Now that he mentions it.
That secretly spies, snapshots, scribble stories, and skull my privacy.
Could that same reporter be?
A camera to the left of him, a notebook to the right. There I am, stuck in the middle with Raiten Many Memo. So you're saying that this picture was taken by Many Memo? Yes, my lord, your excellency, Esquire. Officer, find this newspaper reporter at once and bring him to my courtroom.
He was here. Did he disappear?
We will adjourn for a short recess in the meantime.
Oh, yes, Your Excellency.
As you say, Your Excellency!
And one more thing. I want this knife, the murder weapon, examined for traces of poison. You will solicit the assistance of the Imperial University's medical department for the task. Understood?
I didn't even realize we had the knife. Where did that knife come from? That knife wasn't even brought up until just now.
Many memo!
Okay, well then. That thunderstorm really just interrupted me, like, it could have interrupted me at this point. If I didn't have plans later, I would be continuing on, but I have plans later, so at the risk of it taking too long to get to the end of this chapter. Hey, it still shows Ryunosuke up there. Hey, it shouldn't be him. Take him off. It should be Susato. I will stop here for today, and I will pick this up again another day, presumably on a day that doesn't have a fucking thunderstorm. But this has been a promising start. I really hope that this isn't the only trial that we see Susato be in the court like this. I get the feeling it's going to be. But that would be such a waste of a model, right? Because they went through the trouble of dressing her up as a boy. Surely that won't be the only time. I want to see her in the fucking court again. Make her the main character of this game, and then bring Ryunosuke at the end or something like that. Damn it. That's why I want an Ace Attorney game with the main character being a girl. You've had instances with girls being like the main character of like a few chapters in the games, but I want a girl as the main character of all the games, okay? You've got Nick, you've got Apollo, you had Edgeworth, and now you have fucking Ryunosuke. Give me a girl. Give me a girl, Shu Takumi. Come on! Assuming you're still gonna make Ace Attorney games. I don't know. We haven't heard about a new game yet. Please, I love you. Alright, we're gonna stop here then. Thanks a lot for watching. It's good to finally, oops, I shouldn't have left that screen, whatever. It's good to finally pick this game back up. I am looking forward to the journey. I am looking forward to see if this will make me cry like the first game did, and I'm definitely gonna cry at the end. I'm most certainly probably gonna cry at the end when this is all over, because after that there's no more Ace Attorney games. I'm already dreading it. Alright, see you around! Whenever that'll be. Bye bye.